Hello guys, and welcome back to the Blessed Shadows. Here on this channel we do fantasy makeup with a focus on portrait photography. It's a little bit different than your everyday makeup look, so let's get started. And hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're returning, thank you so much for joining me back again today. We're going to be doing this fantasy look with this gold headdress I made. If you haven't made your own headdress yet, I do have a shop, BlessedShadows on Etsy. And I also recommend that you get started making your headdresses yourself. It is so much fun. Alright, so go ahead and get fresh faced to get your makeup base on, and I'll see you back here and we'll get started. Today's look is going to be with a gold headdress. We're going to go ahead and dip into the Black Cosmetics End of Summer Playlist palette into this gorgeous yellow. I'm going to add that onto the inner corner and middle lid. We're going to go ahead and start adding that shimmer. Alright, and I'm after a lot of gold and a lot of shimmer, so we're actually going to be using several different palettes today. This one is the CoverGirl. And into this Wet n Wild palette, we're going to dip into a little bit of the burnt orange. And do that on the crease. Going to dip into the Wet n Wild's gold as well. Right, and in with the Maybelline. I'm going to set that with a shimmer white powder. Alright, grab your favorite liner. We're doing a big old wing today. Best day for a big old wing is every day. Do a bigger waterline today as well. I really like doing that big eye. Don't worry if you mess it up a little. Art is always a process. Go in with my darker black. Bring that down a little for a little bit of a smoky eye. And go in with more yellow. If you make silly faces like I sometimes do, that's okay. No judgment. I'm going to go in and add just a touch of red on our wing. See if we can get slightly more of an orange. There we go. And now we're going to do a nice dark brow. Right, now I'm going to start our contour. Just the hollows of my cheeks. And we wouldn't be finished without our blush. And we're going to overline our lips today just a little bit. So I'm going to make this weird face with my lips, and I'm going to fill in and just draw over the Cupid's bow. And in we go with your favorite color. Now we're gonna add a little more highlight. Feels weird not doing freckles, but sometimes you just don't need to do them. And now mascara. And as always, being careful that you don't accidentally take a wand to the eyeball. This is a lash building mascara. It does have fibers in it, but it doesn't, of course, look the same as a good set of falsies. And I'm going to go with these winged ones today. A little hack I have is I actually do cut them in half, and I use just the wing part. That way I don't have such a heavy lash on my eyes. I'm gonna sit that down and let that dry. And while those dry, you can get a closer look, see how you're happy with everything. Make sure you don't need to go over anything else. And while those dry, I'm actually gonna go ahead and put my hair on. One thing I have noticed, and you probably noticed just now too, once you actually put your hair on, there's a lot more to look at, so your makeup is gonna be a lot less loud. So without it, you might have thought the blush is gonna be a little too dark. Once you actually have other elements to look at, it's gonna tone that color down. And then we actually get on camera, it's gonna tone it down a little bit further. So while it looks a little subdued right now, it's actually pretty bright IRL. All right, I think these are good to go. So match up the wing with your correct eye. And I don't actually have one of those tools to put your eyelashes on. I just do it by hand. All right, there we go. Let's get that headdress on. All right, and here's the finished look. If you do ever feel like your headdress is, let me show you, flattening your hair out a little too much, just give it a little bit of a push forward, and it'll come bring some hairs up. That way it makes your hair look a little more full-bodied, and it doesn't look quite as scrunched down. I think that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? I do have a lot of headdresses for sale in the BlessedShadows shop. This one is actually mine to keep. It is a sample, and I liked it so much that I decided to keep it for myself, but there are other ones available. And if you haven't actually made your own, I do highly recommend it. I do have a little easy tutorial you can follow down in my tutorials playlist. That way you can make your own headdresses at home. I definitely do recommend it. It is so much fun. You can make them as loud or as fantastical as you want. Alright guys, thanks so much for stopping by. If you're a repeat subscriber to BlessedShadows, thank you so much. It means so much to me. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, make that bell sing. That way you know each time new tutorials drop. And thank you so much for stepping into the BlessedShadows.